How's it going, everyone? It's Gavin from Balls to You. Sorry for the lack of videos. It's just been really busy and I haven't been too good, so there's no excuses, but we're back, okay? So, I got asked a question, and it was quite interesting, to be honest with you. Um, and the question was basically based around at what weight should people be selling baby ball pythons? Now, this is a very good question, and unfortunately, there's no straight answer. This can come with a multitude of answers. Okay, I'll tell you a quick story. What happened was the person who's asked the question, I'm not going to say who, very nice gentleman, but ultimately he brought a snake from Europe, and he suspected when he got it home that the baby itself hadn't actually had any feeds, that it had virtually come straight out the egg and into the gentleman's hand, if you like. So, and unfortunately, because the gentleman was I'm not saying he's not an experienced keeper, but he brought this snake on the understanding that it had had feeds, and unfortunately it hadn't, and it died. Very sad story, but unfortunately there are people out there, breeders, who will sell you stuff straight out the egg. Now, I don't agree on that. I don't release any animals unless they've had 5 consecutive strike feeds in a row. That doesn't mean 5 feeds, that can mean 5 strike feeds. So, I'm going to show you some weights of babies, and the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get a hatchling that's fresh out today. Won't get you anything too special because I don't want to show off too much. We'll just get a normal, okay? It's not just a normal, but it's a normal looking snake. So, we're going to have a look and see what an average baby, size baby out the egg weighs. Okay, that's an average. Okay, 57 grams. Now, there was a small baby in that clutch, which I'll pull out so we can have a good variation. £40. Okay, I have had them as little as 25 grams. Okay, so that's babies roughly out of the egg weight range. On average, they're around about 50 to 60 grams. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to take a hatchling that's now had 5 consecutive strike feeds in a row and is potentially ready to go to its new home. So let's see, who can we get? Decisions. Okay. So, let's just get this going. Okay. So, this girl has had a few feeds, and basically she'd be pretty much ready to go. Okay. So, if you were to come to the table at Doncaster or directly from me, that's her weight. She's in shed, but that's her weight. She's ready to go. Okay. Now, I'll show you another snake that is also ready to go. This is my daughter's snake, bless her. Now, this girl feeds like a pig. Now, look at that. Okay, this baby was one of the first babies out of a clutch, and she has had 7 feeds, and you can see she's virtually she's a lot lighter than the first one I showed you, but this female is ready to go. Okay, she's striking brilliantly, taking her food fantastically. She's shedding, pooing, doing everything she should do. So this little demonstration here is what I'm trying to demonstrate is you can't really say what a good weight or a healthy weight is for an animal to leave its breeder, if you like. Okay, there is no answer. There is no weight. What you're looking for, guys, is you're looking for a consistent feeding snake, not one that's hit and miss, not one that's had a few feeds and it's backed off a little bit, and now you're looking for a healthy, consecutive feeding snake. Okay, now again, there is no answer to this. It is just a case of you, as the person that's buying the snake, to be perfectly honest, you have got to be very vigilant, very what's the word? Ask the right questions. You need to do your own investigations yourself, guys. Okay. You've also got to trust the breeder, and a feeding record would go a long way. Now, I'm going to show you a snake now that hasn't been feeding too good. Okay, still healthy, no problems, but it's not strike feeding, it's assist feeding. Okay, now look at the weight on this little gent. Okay, now this dude, he's been assist fed, but he's in a good weight range, whereas the normal that I just showed you, he's obviously a lot lighter, but he's feeding better. So that is just sort of saying to me that even though this snake is healthy and heavier, doesn't mean it's feeding any better. Okay, I hope this is making sense, guys. Okay, so ultimately, like I said, it's not necessarily down to the weight of the animal. It's you guys, you need to be doing your investigation work. How many feeds has it had? Is it a strong feeder? Does it strike feed? Does it drop feed? Them are the sort of answers, guys, you need, questions you need to be asking the breeder themselves. You need to be asking these things because, let's face it, if they don't give you a feeding card, which I believe they should, then how do you know what it's feeding on? How do you know how often a week it's been fed? I predominantly feed most of my hatchlings, whether I'm keeping them or whether I'm selling them, twice a week. That's if they want them. If they don't want them, then they have, it's once a week. But predominantly, most of them will eat twice a week. So, with that in mind, not every breeder will feed twice a week. Now, the reason why I do it is because when I display these animals at shows for people to come and have a look, I don't want them to think that just because I'm selling it, that it's not top of my priority. Because at the end of the day, if I don't sell that animal's stopping here with me. Okay, so I want it to have a good life, whether it stays with me or whether it goes to a new owner or to its new place of where it's going to stop and live forever. I want it to be healthy, and I want it to be healthy out of the gates. There are people who will sell animals straight out the egg, straight into your hand. Okay, I'm going to try and give you a demonstration in what to look out for snakes that have come out of the egg. Okay, I haven't showed these guys off. This is one that I didn't do a cutting video on, but this is stunning. Okay, right, I'm not going to say too much about that one. That's for another video. Let's get something else. Let's get let's get two of the same mutations. Chill. Just bear with me, guys. So, some people can't tell the difference between babies that have come out the egg and babies that haven't. Obviously there is a size comparison to go for, but what you're also looking for is the coloration. Now what we have here is an established pastel. Okay, here's another pastel that's just come out of a clutch today. Okay, now you see this sort of sheen, this sort of glossiness. Okay, that's pretty much its first shed. It will shed out of that skin, it will get creamy colour, it will shed out and it will become like this matte colour. Okay, or when I say matte colour I mean matte tone, let's say. Okay, so you'll have this matte effect, as opposed to this fresh hatchling who's come out today, and you can see he has this sort of like a shiny sort of glossy effect. Now if you see that on a table, of someone's table that's up for sale, I would definitely be wary. Okay, if you're an established breeder or hobbyist keeper of snakes, first of all, it shouldn't be on the table straight out the egg. That's not ethical at all. And I'm not saying it's illegal, but it's not the way you do things. So if you're an established breeder and stuff like that, if you're willing to take this baby on and it looks like this, then I think, first of all, like I said, the breeder shouldn't be selling it, but also you've also got to take into consideration it's you gambling with your money, or it's you gambling with the life of this baby. Okay, if you feel you are an established breeder, hobbyist, keeper of snakes or reptiles, and you are an established feeder of reptiles, so that means that you can pretty much get most things feeding and going, then if you feel like you want to take that baby on, then guys, that's up to you. My advice would be you're looking for something that's going to look like this. Okay, you can see a difference, hopefully. Okay guys, these are the same mutations, both pastels. This has got a little something else in it, but that's for another video. But they are basically the same mutation. As you can see, this is a very established feeder as a hatchling. Let's see what we get. So if you were to buy this off the table, he's going to be coming to you, or she's going to be coming to you at 127 grams. Okay, fed twice a week. Okay, so I hope this answers any questions. Feel free to ask me any questions by all means. I've tried to be as I've tried to cover all angles, and again guys, it's down to you who are buying this animal. You need to be asking the questions. Don't look at the price tag. Yeah, look at the animal. Just because you see an animal and it's cheap doesn't mean it's good. It means that potentially, or it could mean that there's a problem there, that's why the breeder has sold it cheap, or is selling it cheap. Okay, so just bear that in mind guys. You need to be asking the right questions, and that's down to you guys. Okay, unfortunately there's no rule books and stuff like that, but you need to be mindful. You need to be on your guard, should we say, on your guard. Maybe is that the wrong word, but you need to be just asking the right questions. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right, so don't buy the snake. That's all I can say guys. Okay, so let's just quickly recap. There is no specified weight for buying a hatchling. Okay, they can come in various sizes. Okay, but what you're looking for is its feeding response. How often does it feed for the breeder? When is he feeding it? What's he feeding it on? Has he got a feeding record? Can he prove how he's feeding it? Can he prove how often he's feeding it? That's something else you need to be asking. Okay, so again, when you're looking at an animal, you're not just questioning the genetics, you're questioning its feeding response, you're questioning its health. Because let's face it, it's okay buying this snake, but is it going to be healthy enough for when you get it home? Is it going to survive? Is it going to have problems? And again, if you don't buy from a reputable breeder or from someone locally that you know that you can go back to, if you have any problems, unfortunately guys, you're on your own. Okay, it's a sad truth, but it's the reality of it all. I try and say to people that you must buy from reputable breeders, because it will make a difference. You may be paying that a little bit more, guys, but you will be, if ever there's a problem, you've got that person, fingers crossed, hopefully they'll be a stand-up sort of person where they'll stand up and say, yeah, you know what, you've got a problem, I'll sort it. Okay, so just bear that in mind, guys. I hope this video helps a little bit, at least just a little bit. There is no real answer to the question. It is a multiple of answers. You've just got to be looking at the health of the baby as opposed to the weight of the baby. Okay, guys, well, quickly just to fill you in, I have it's been quite busy here. I've got a hatchling video to do. I don't do every cutting video of every clutch. I just try and do a few because I want to try and mix things up for people. Obviously we've got the Doncaster show coming up on the 6th of November, which I will be attending. I'll be in the main hall downstairs. I'll be doing a video for that. I'll also be doing almost like a special promotion for that day where I'll do a video I'll explain a few things and I'll tell you exactly what the promotion is regarding what's going to happen on that day on our table, and also I'll have some t-shirts for sale on the table as well on the day. There's only a limited number, so guys, it's first come first serve. So if you do want any of the Balls to You t-shirts, please make sure you get over to our table as early as possible and grab yourself a t-shirt. And again, I'll let you know the costs on that on the Doncaster IHS video for November the 6th. Okay, guys, so sorry I've been a bit lapsy-daisy on the videos, but we are back. We are doing more videos. I've got another clutch which I'll go and do a video on now, and everything's still coming thick and fast, guys. It's awesome over here. So hope you're all okay, hope you're having fun. I can see most people on YouTube who are posting videos have had an awesome season. They've hit some real stunning animals. And guys, for those who are following me and not following them, just check out the comments in the comment boxes below. And most people who comment on my stuff have their own channel, whether it be in the States or in Europe. They're top guys, real nice people. Get over there and check their channel out as well, guys. Okay, everyone, take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care, everyone.